Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how are you doing?
Well, Tyler, as always, I'm chilling. How about yourself?
I'm chilling myself as well. It's a bit, it's a bit weird. We're just staring into the abyss of like the slow death of the DCEU. Um,
Yep. You
and
could
with
say it's
that,
quite shocking.
it's kind of weird. Obviously, we're talking today about Black Adam, the only, technically the only DCEU movie that came out in 2022, because Batman ain't part of that. And then, yeah, we have all of 2023. We have four films set in this franchise that is dying after this year. But yeah, we'll talk about them when they come out. With Black Adam, this was a movie long in the making. The Rock's been signed on to this role for almost 10 years. The film's finally out. And before I let you say your thoughts, just I think the best way to sum up this movie in one sentence is not worth our time.
No, not at all.
Multiple years of hype of him being excited to play the character. Can't wait. It's finally in production. It's finally out. And it's a movie. It's a movie, I'll tell you that.
It is.
Mike, what'd you think?
I'll give it credit. The CGI was better than Thor: Love and Thunder, and better than She-Hulk. So
Okay,
that's a plus.
that's it being better than a Disney Plus show. uh, You should have left it at Thor Love and Thunder. All right.
So I just wanted to shit talk that show one more time.
Okay.
Um, yes. Whew, where to begin? To me, this movie was boring as all fucking hell. I've I've attempted to watch this movie 4 times, and I fell asleep every single time. It just couldn't keep me engaged to the film whatsoever. I think the score had a lot to do with that. The choice of music
Hmm.
that they decided to play, it rivals, you know, Pitbull's cover of Africa in Aquaman.
To be fair, the trailers for this film, the music was one of the worst parts of these trailers. So
Yes, so
we kind of
we
got a
really
warning
pissed.
this wasn't going to be good score wise.
Yeah, just didn't realize how bad it was.
And then compared to the Batman, where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, Batman actually had an original score, and then you just had, Nirvana as well. I feel like this movie tried to do too much.
Mhm.
Like you had, especially the score, they had some original stuff in there definitely, but for the most part, it was some old ass songs that no one really cares about, and it just didn't really fit the scenes that I was in. I don't know if you agree with me or not on that one.
Uh, honestly, I don't remember much in music because a lot of this movie is not memorable. So
No, it's not.
we did see this at different times. I saw it when it first came out. You saw it when it had its HBO Max premiere. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think one thing that might have caused you to fall asleep multiple times is up until the third act, this movie has no stakes at all. There is no tension. There is no nothing. Like you're right, boring. It's just there's just stuff that happens. Not nervous, not excited. Just we're just going through the
Yeah,
motions of a movie.
and the whole, oh, you're not a hero. Oh, I know I'm not a hero. Heroes don't kill people. Well, I kill people. Like that repeated dialogue over and over again. It's like, all right, we fucking get it. Just move on.
No, we have to understand this is The Rock being his darkest character yet and killing people because he never kills people. Like
Huh, what do you mean?
I yeah, I don't know.
Motherfucker was
It's
slaughtering people at Hobbs and Shaw.
well,
He probably killed more people in Hobbs and Shaw than he killed as Black Adam.
we need to get someone to do a kill count video on that.
Now
That
that
would be
being
more
said,
interesting than watching this again.
yes. That being said, some of the highlights of this film would be some of the kills The Rock, kind of has.
Mhm.
Um, a memorable one is when he kind of throws the guy off his own jet bike, which are a thing apparently because of this. What was that material called that we've never heard of before? But hey, it's here. Just roll with it.
I don't remember the name. It was just yeah, this.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, wasn't it like an
This rare.
organization that took over the country, or is it just a general dictatorship?
Yeah, it was some fucking military organization that
Yeah,
took it
I
over.
know, like yeah, which has
Um,
super high end tech, but okay.
yeah, you don't say. They got jet
Like,
bikes
did
for
they get
Christ's
half
sake.
this shit from Zod's ships when they crashed eventually? Like,
Yeah, just
yeah, they don't explain any of
yeah.
the gear that they use. Just
No, they don't explain anything in this movie. They don't explain who the Justice Society is. They don't explain how like they kind of came about or why they should really even be there, other than to restore global peace. Like clear and they brought up a good point. Where were you while these outside invaders were coming? You didn't show up. You only showed up because Black Adam's here.
yeah, I mean, look, if we're gonna give a movie a positive, I do like how they mentioned that. Like, that is a
Yeah,
solid point. Like,
100%.
Justice League is trying to stop the apocalypse from happening. What the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
You're stopping people from liberating themselves. Oh, great, thanks.
yeah. Oh, look, the people in the Middle East are getting a little too uppity. Waller, well, you want us to put them down? All right, we're on that. Like, come on. Like, it's not a good look, and I'm glad they pointed that out because it's not. They finally
No,
get their
definitely
savior.
not.
He starts wrecking shit for them. Because look, The Rock kills people in this movie. They make that pretty clear. Um, as much as he comes off like a static asshole, he does care for the people of the country. Like, that is his
Yes.
motivation, at least. So yeah, I do like how they played like just because the Justice Society shows up doesn't mean the people on the ground are like, yay, we're saved. It's like, no, we're already saved.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny when Hawkman saved the two military guys or the contractors.
Yeah.
Everyone started booing. You should have let him fall. And then Black Adam zaps him. Everybody starts cheering again.
Which kind of sucks because like scenes like that, it's like they know the angle to take with the film. It's just that's not the entire film. It's not the
Correct.
majority of the film.
Who's who's the guy that could the knockoff Ant-Man? Was that Adam Smasher or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, who really cared about his character in this movie?
Or Cyclone for that matter.
Like, did they really need to be in it? No. It
Well,
could,
look,
it,
I understand they needed to be in it to fill out the roster, but I will say, my God, the
they
amount
did
of slow
fuck
motion in
all.
this film was
Well,
way too high.
I agree with that.
Like, this is a 2 hour
Yeah,
film. This is not Justice League 4 hour cut. This is a 2 hour film. I'm seeing way too slow motion, and I get it. First few times you gotta show off Cyclone's power. The only way to do that slow motion, I get it. But every other scene with them is slow motion. It's like, can we just get some good action? Can we get that, please?
yeah, and
We got that with Doctor Fate. Yeah,
we'll get to Doctor Fate in a second. He's the
yeah.
highlight of the movie. But slow motion was overdone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just sum up the negative. Movie's boring as all fuck.
Kid's annoying as all fuck. One of the
We
worst child
never really
actors
got.
I've seen in years. Gotta be honest. I don't
Yeah,
want to be mean, but my God, like we've seen a lot of good child actors the past few years, and this is who they get.
yeah. And how old is he supposed to be?
I don't know, 10,
Because
13 years old, I guess. I don't know, 14. The mom was all
because when
right,
they
but
gave
the kid, oh God.
because when they gave him the cape, he was all pretending to be Superman and shit. It's like, all right, you seem a little too old to be doing that.
Yeah. And it was it his uncle? Was it his uncle, right? It's his
Yeah,
sister's brother? Yeah, he was annoying too.
yeah, but he had some comedic moments.
Yeah, I mean, some of them were funny, but some of them just did not land.
Yes, kind of like a lot of DC trying to force humor. It doesn't really land. Whew, yeah. Let's talk about the good thing though.
No, we're not done with the negatives yet.
I wanted to take a break.
No, let's get the negatives out so we can actually relax and lavish some praise on Pierce Brosnan. The villains suck. We have no main villain until the third act, who is a devil demon nobody.
Yeah,
Was Sarabek or
whose
whatever.
whose only motivation was his family. He wanted to be king again. Like he wanted his family to be king again. Like that was it.
Yeah, just real strong. I mean, I guess it's decent enough motivation, but the guy did not have much of a presence throughout the film to warrant that twist. So like, oh, he's the king. He's the descendant of the evil king thousands of years ago. It's like,
I
I,
kind of saw that coming though.
I will say, I was caught off guard, but I also just didn't care. Like I knew something was up because he was obsessed by the crown that much. I didn't know he was like a direct descendant kind of thing. But even again, like even when he comes back as the full demon, it's like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like they do try to build up. He is going to wreak havoc unless he is stopped. And yeah, that's just no. How about Skinny Rock when he says Shazam? That was a look.
Yeah, definitely different.
Hmm.
Um, Kind of makes sense though.
No, I get it. There has to be some kind of difference. It just kind of it just looked weird.
Yeah, something that we've never seen before in our entire lives.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not even during the Tooth Fairy days if we're going that skinny.
No, never in his career on television have we ever seen him that small.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing
Yeah,
what CGI will do.
I don't even think he's ever that small in his goddamn life.
Maybe when he was like 8.
Yeah,
All right. Let's talk about the positives. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was Doctor Fate?
at least an 8
Yeah.
because he can't fight fate.
Hmm.
See what I did there?
Yes.
All right, I'll go home now. But Doctor Fate is easily the best part of the movie, and actually his relationship with Hawkman was actually believable. They
Yes.
they did give off like a very, they've been working together for a while, they're partners, but they're also close friends, and they do genuinely care about each other. So there's definitely a lot of camaraderie between the two, and that kind of helps sell each of their performances in that aspect.
That was the best relationship in the movie.
Yeah, kind of the only one.
Well, there's The Rock and
I
his kid, like 5 minutes.
I'm curious why I mean, Pierce Brosnan, but because Doctor Fate usually doesn't take off his mask, every chance he gets. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He was out of the
Yeah.
mask more than he was in it. Kind of the thing with Doctor Fate was you're kind of in that mask all the time.
Yeah. This version of Doctor Fate's taken off every 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, just whenever he wants, it's fine.
Yeah. Personally, I'm fine with that change because look, I understand studio side. You sign Pierce Brosnan to a superhero film, you're gonna use him. You could also maybe, I don't know, clear like didn't they say Dr. Fate is over 100 in this movie?
Yeah,
Like he's old. He's
yeah.
old. So
I
like I
mean,
do wonder if it's like that's like this version of Dr. Fate's like getting tired of the mask or the helmet, I should say. Maybe
well,
that's why he's taking it off, but
the thing is, Doctor Fate isn't necessarily the person in the helmet; it
yeah,
is the
those
helmet himself.
yeah, that's who he becomes when he puts on the helmet, but it's not the actual person. Like the helmet will now find a new person to be Dr. Fate.
Correct. And the
Right.
helmet kind of has its own personality within.
Yeah. Well,
So,
clearly that personality was cool with the helmet being taken off after so much.
correct. After, sharing the spotlight for, 100 years.
But yeah, no, I mean, Pierce Brosnan acting, solid as always. It's great. They definitely, I mean, they did kind of nerf him into that. He obviously, if he wanted to, he could kill the final villain, no problem. So, but clearly got to set up Black Adam saving the day. But besides that, though, they really did show off how powerful he is, especially compared to other members of the team.
Yes.
And honestly, I
And
think if he wanted to, he could take Black Adam on one if he really pushed it.
yeah, which brings up a good point. Dr. Fate really didn't fight that much in this movie.
No.
He was mainly the voice of reason for the most part.
Hmm.
And he only fought to restrain Black Adam. It was never to fully, subdue him or put him down. And then when it came time to, fulfill his own prophecy and save Hawkman, he just kind of sacrificed himself. He didn't even really put too much of a fight up.
Yeah, he only put up a fight. Basically, he only put up a fight long enough to get Black Adam out of the prison. And once Black Adam, like once he knew he was fighting his way out, it's like, all right, I can go die now.
Yep.
But that did kind of make sense too. Like he definitely gave off the sense that like he's kind of tired of living this long. Like, cool, the helmet's making him, see all these lies and all this history being made, but like he's tired.
Yep.
Also, Pierce Brosnan probably didn't want to do sequel, so
Yeah. It's just
it is
shame.
what it is when you get those
I'd
high end
rather see it.
actors.
Yeah, I'd rather see a Doctor Fate movie, honestly. Um,
Dr. Fate and Hawkman.
Yeah, probably would have been a better movie.
It probably would have. What else is good? I will say, The Rock has definitely the past few years given off the vibe of just acting as The Rock, and he does do that most of this movie. But I will say,
Yeah, he
the
does.
flashback sequences where we find out the truth about who is the statue, turns out it's not
Yep.
The Rock. That acting in those flashbacks is some of the best he's done in years. I'm not going to say it's the best work he's done, but I actually saw more of a grieving father in that than just The Rock grieving. Like there's an actual character there. But again, there's multiple scenes in this movie where it's just The Rock being The Rock. Tell
Yep.
him the Man in Black. Like a.
Which is partially why this movie was kind of boring. But you are right. There was that brief
Like
moment.
there's glimpses of it. Like I really feel like if he just humbles himself to be told what to do by an A-list director, we could see a fantastic acting performance. I think he has it in him. It's just that's not what he does.
Yeah.
So, like the guy that directed this is the guy that made Jungle Cruise. Like, no offense to the director, but it's like you're a rock director. You're kind of just there to help him out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the directing for the movie isn't bad. I do find you're going back to the music choices being old. The was it Paint It Black song during the montage of him slow motion again the military vehicles, right?
Yep. And then you also have, was it Power by Kanye West playing at another fight scene?
Yeah, like this really felt like a well-made superhero movie from 2005.
Yes. Okay, I
It
could
really
see that.
is. It's like, which I guess since this film has been in development for almost a decade, kind of makes sense. But you would think,
It would change with the times.
yeah, we've only had like 20, 30 more superhero movies since we started working on this. You think you'd update a few things.
Yeah, not to, talk about better superhero movies within the DC EU itself.
Because there are a few.
Um, yeah, let's think about movies that actually, have a soundtrack. There's kind of only one that was successful, and that was, what was it, The Suicide Squad?
The first Suicide Squad, yes, had a very successful soundtrack.
Well, I was talking about James Gunn's because that soundtrack was pretty good.
Oh no, I meant the first one. They had music made for that movie. It played on the radio, multiple hits. Like if we're talking actually curating soundtrack, like I'm not talking the score, I'm talking about the actual soundtrack because they're kind of like two different things.
Correct.
The first one was by itself a popular album during the summer, even though the movie was shit. The Suicide Squad did have some good songs, as a lot better movie.
Correct.
Then,
That's
then we
kind of what I
have
was going with.
and then we have Aquaman with Pitbull. I'm glad you didn't say Aquaman. I was getting worried. I was getting
No, I
worried
was
because it was a
absolutely
very
not
successful
going to say
movie.
that. But also look at the more successful DCEU films. Man of Steel, Wonder Woman. Those had original scores
Hmm.
and it fit the movie so much better.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a score can draw you into a movie better than a soundtrack can. There are a few exceptions, Baby Driver.
Oh, absolutely. For the majority of the movies out there, a score like don't even think a soundtrack. Like unless you have a specific need for a soundtrack, you don't get one. The score, your background music, you're right. That's what can make or break a movie because it elicits feelings
Yes, it does.
if it's done
Because
right.
it is supposed to convey what the characters are feeling and almost kind of thinking and setting the actual feeling of the scene.
Hmm.
And that's where this movie failed.
Yeah.
Just one of the ways, I should say.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember a beat of the score. I don't know.
Kind of a very boring, unmemorable movie. But on that note, Tyler, you have you had your fill complaining about this film?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, so have I. So let me ask you this, pal. Would you recommend DC fans or just anybody in general to go out of their way and watch this movie?
no.
You know what? I'm actually going to surprise you on this. I'm going to fully fucking agree with you. This movie is boring as all hell. I wanted it to work. I really did.
Also, I feel we forgot one other thing, which now I guess we didn't bring up because it means nothing. They brought back
Correct.
fucking Henry Cavill as Superman, and 2 months later, that means jack shit.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up. Still
No, no, no,
hurts.
no. We have to bring it up because The Rock pushed
Still
for it
hurts.
hard and he got it. The movie didn't do well at the box office, and Cavill's out. So yeah, one of the main things to see the movie when it came out was to see Cavill come back, his big triumphant return, and now it's another DC post credit that will go nowhere. Hey,
Yeah.
you remember when Deathstroke met with Lex Luthor on his yacht
Yep.
all the way back in the OG cut of Justice League, right? Teasing
Yep.
the sequel. Where is that? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So throw this post credit scene, while as cool as it is, throw it on the pile of useless post credit scenes. So take that away. Watch Doctor Fate scenes on YouTube, and you're good.
Yep. I'm also fully in full agreement. But I think that's enough shit talking this movie. If you'd like to share your thoughts or also join us in shit talking this film, as always, feel free to let us know at Entertainment Expansion. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. As always, thank you for listening.